The depth of Jamaica's women's sprinting on display in qualifying for the 4x100. Jodine Williams leading off that team to Tina Clayton, and then a fabulous anchor from Janelle Smith. Part of the gold medal winning team in 2019, Janelle Smith, she returns to take this team comfortably through to the championship race. 41.80, the Jamaicans, the second fastest in qualifying. The Americans were ultra impressive though, without the 100-200 champion. 41.60, Sha'Carri Richardson on anchor. Germany, Great Britain, Canada, Spain, France and Poland all through to the final. 42.83 is what you needed to run to get into that championship race. Let's continue the discussion on return to Tokyo. Remember, whether you're watching on television or listening on Hits 92 FM, we welcome you. Thank you so much for staying with us. Bruce James, the women's 4x100. You know, I have a lot of respect for Paul Francis. He rarely ever gets it wrong. And once again, he's gotten it spot on as the women advance to the 4x100 final.
What was really, really special about this is that we did strategy. And the two strategies that were employed by my good friend Paul Francis is that we used two reserves. We used Jodine Williams from Sprint Tech, who came fourth at the national championships, and Janelle Smith from MVP, who came fifth at the national championships. And we used Tina Clayton, who didn't finish the national championship. She pulled up, but she's the fourth fastest woman in the world this year. That strategy, number one, using the best available athletes while resting Shericka Jackson, who I believe will come in and run the first leg, and Shelley Ann Fraser-Price, who I believe will come in and run the anchor leg. That strategy appealed to me a lot, and I think it paid big dividends. And later on, I'm hoping we'll get to see the exchanges, and you'll see what I refer to as conservative changes and how early in the zones the girls get the batons.
Yeah, Daniel Dowie.
Well, the ladies got the job done. They were sent out there to qualify, and they did so in fine style. The exchanges were smooth. Jodine understood the assignment. She was supposed to hand over first, and I think she was just about did that. So happy with their performance. Yeah,
I thought Jodine Williams ran an excellent first leg. Warren, where are your thoughts on the women's 4x100 performance?
The ladies did exceptional. Jodine ran a very, very good first leg. Took it to the twins, and in all, as Bruce said, it was the changes that we wanted to see, safe, good changes, and we should be in there in the finals. I'm excited to see this matchup.
Excited to see the matchup indeed. So too is Janelle Smith. She led the talking of the 4x100 women's team when they stood with Jeremy Brown.
For an iconic gold and silver, an Italian representation.
All right. We're apparently not quite ready for that yet.
Well, Ricardo, while the producer is setting that up, let's also point out a critical point. Janelle and Jodine are fully vested in this team. I just mentioned that I expect Shericka to replace Jodine on the first leg and Shelley Ann to replace Janelle on the anchor leg. They're still fully vested in the team because if the team wins, or wherever the team places, gold, silver, or bronze, they too, Janelle and Jodine, get the same medals, and they will also be recognized with all the prize money. They are no harm, no foul. Running the semifinals, you get equal prize as the winners who run in the final.
All right, let's head to that
Ready
interview
for it now?
To get the baton around safely and efficiently, and I think we did a great job at that. Hence, like from the first exchange, we were already in the lead, and we just kept it right around the track.
Yeah, from what we saw this evening, it seems the preparation has been good.
Yeah, I mean, that is why you practice. We have very smart ladies, experienced ladies also, despite their younger age, they're still experienced. So again, trust ourselves, trust our teammates, and I think we did just that.
Yeah, and from the final, what can we expect? I know a few changes might be made. Tell us about that.
Again, the goal is always to win, 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 so it don't matter who is on the team. Once we get a baton on our own, anything is possible.
Confident of that gold medal?
Yes.
Yeah, most definitely. Yes, we are.
Yeah, Janelle Smith, another smart old Mary. And by the way, she said that is why we practice. I know Janelle very well, and I'm sure that wasn't shade on the men's team. But yes, that is indeed why you practice. And the women got it spot on in their 4x100 qualifying. Warren, are you agreeing with what seems to be the setup for the final? I completely agree with Bruce. Shericka Jackson will likely come in on the opening leg with Shelley and Fraser Price in what will be her last global race for Jamaica on the anchor leg.
Yes, I definitely agree with that lineup. Whether or not it's Shelley last race or want to put her on the anchor, I think that's the best place for her. And I think having Shericka out the blocks to the twins, to Shelley, is definitely how I predicted the lineup and how I wanted the lineup to go.
Yeah, and it's part of the reason I have so much respect for Paul Francis, who is in charge of the women's 4x100 team. I remember the 2015 setup when Veronica Campbell-Brown was put on the opening leg, and that came as a surprise to a lot of individuals. And of course, that team went on to win in one of the fastest times ever. And here he is again, thinking outside the box. And they practiced this because remember, Shericka ran the opening leg in London. So it's not something that they got to Tokyo and went, hey, let's try this. This is something that clearly Paul Francis, as the women's 4x100 coach, has been planning for. And it's another thing that makes it so important that a lot of these selections in terms of coaching decisions are made early, yes, so the coaches get the opportunity to plan.
Yeah, definitely. And Ricardo, you're hitting a lot of points. And that's why I point out and just reminding everybody, Tia Clayton was not originally on that Jamaican team, meaning the team of 60, because she didn't finish her race and therefore didn't get to run the 100. She tried to get on a 100-meter team by way of the Diamond League. But the coaches, the selectors, in their wisdom, said, you're the fourth fastest woman in the world. We're putting you on our relay team. Really glad to see that. I'm hoping the producer is going to help us with the last exchange. Ricardo, can that be arranged just so that the viewers see it? Do we have time for that?
Well, we have time. The producers would have to answer that question. Unfortunately, from this seat, I can't do that.
I'd love to see the last
Just
exchange.
one quick one, lady and gentlemen. Can you call it for tomorrow? Can the Jamaicans beat the U.S. team that we saw in qualifying? Short answers.
Yes.
Wow.
Melissa Jefferson, the fastest woman in the world this year, is added to the U.S. team. I'm hoping she'll be added to the first leg. If Melissa is on the first leg, I think Jamaica has a chance of winning.
Warren?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. First 3 legs, just get the job done and make the last leg easier. The first 3 legs has to be a cracker leg, and we should have it.
Okay, all right. We'll leave that there. We'll probably take a look at that 4x100 final change in later show, which will be at 6 o'clock Jamaica time this evening. We'll break that down in more detail.